Learn to listen to your body after 50. It's about menopause, it's about aches and pains, and it's about the power moves that you can start using now. And the advantage is that midlife is when you finally start paying attention. I wasn't going to open with this one, but I decided maybe confession time would be good. Several years ago, I had frozen shoulder, and as I was recovering from that, I was doing a bunch of different things, and one of them was massage. And my massage therapist said to me, "Do you feel like your shoulders are even?" And I said, "Yes. Why do you ask?" So she kind of gave me that little smirk smile of, I know something that's going on here, and asked me to look in the mirror. And sure enough, one shoulder was down about an inch lower than the other shoulder. And I was shocked and surprised. I'd been walking around like that for months and never knew that that's what was going on. I had no idea until she mentioned it. And here I am. I'm someone who teaches Argentine tango, and I help people listen to their bodies. And apparently my left shoulder was trying to communicate something is not right. I knew I had frozen shoulder, but still it was a bit deeper than that. The right one was like, whatever, and left is in charge. We'll just let it do its thing. So that was a minute that I realized that even the most body aware of us can still be half blind to what is going on with our body. We get used to the imbalance until the imbalance becomes normal. And here's the thing. If you ignore your body long enough, it doesn't just stop talking to you. It stops whispering. Then it starts to shout through pain, fatigue, an inability to sleep, mood swings, feeling like you're just not there. You're kind of off. So a listener wrote to me after listening to one of my episodes where I talk about listening to your body. And she said, "I don't get it. I don't hear anything. I don't understand how to get there." And I thought, yeah, I know that feeling. Because sometimes it takes a mirror, a massage therapist, or frozen shoulder to remind you that your body's been talking to you all along. Sometimes it takes something different, tuning in to what your body needs. And that message from the listener stuck with me because it was one of the most honest things that you can say. Most of us are taught to perform, not to perceive, to push through things. It's that merit badge that we have. It's not to pause. And when we hit midlife with the hormone shifts, the energy changes, metabolism changes, ignoring our body stops working. And it sometimes feels like we may be getting so much information that it's confusing. If you're an entrepreneur or starting business or somebody who simply wants to live life fully, that disconnect starts to cost you. So today, we are going to explore different ways to start hearing or seeing or feeling your body again. It's not a mystical, chant by candlelight way, but in a real world, daily life moment, you can actually feel, see, or hear. We are all different, and the way that your body communicates with you may be different than the way that my body communicates with me. So let's start out by taking the pressure off. Listening to your body for a mystical voice that says, "Drink water, young grasshopper," is not really very realistic. Your body speaks through sensations, tightness, warmth, tingling, restlessness, hunger, fatigue. And the goal isn't to hear the words, it's to notice the signals. Start to look for those signals. And you translate that feeling or sensation into information. And here's why it matters. If you keep ignoring the small signals, your body can't help you fix the problem early. By the time it has your full attention, you're already moved from whisper mode to it is a full-blown siren. Have you ever had that moment where you've gone from being uncomfortable to being in full-blown pain that stops you? We want to act on the message when it's a whisper. Listening, hearing, or seeing what's going on will help you stop crisis mode from limiting your life, from ruining what it is that you actually want to do. Be it run a business, it might be that you want to travel. It might be you want to play on the floor with your grandchildren or your puppy or whatever it is that you want to do. That thing that you've been waiting all of your life to do. Now is the time to be able to do it, and these tools are going to help you get there. So you might wonder, if my body's been talking to me all along, why can't I hear it? For most of us, the connection didn't disappear overnight. It faded over time. As kids, we're naturals. We know when we're hungry. We slept when we were tired. We stretched when we felt stiff. And little by little, we start to override those cues. We hear things like, don't cry, finish what's on your plate, push through the pain, wait until it's a proper time to go to the bathroom. All of these things build over time, and we begin to start shutting down that communication with our body. And by the time we hit midlife, after decades of training, it becomes second nature. We override thirst, hunger, exhaustion, and sometimes even joy, because there's a business to run, or a family to take care of, or a project to finish. And sometimes that wall between you and your body appears after injury, after surgery or childbirth. Your body changes to protect you. And even when the pain is gone, the brain keeps running the protection program. You keep moving, but part of you stays offline. There's a signal there, but it's faint, and we've overridden it so many times, we kind of ignore it. It's kind of like white noise. We know it's there, it's irritating, but we're not paying attention to it. The good news is, the line is never broken. You can dial back into it, because once you do, you catch the subtle messages before they become the kind that forces you to stop. So here's your first reconnection exercise. Sit or stand, it doesn't matter. Notice where your body meets the floor or a chair. Feel your feet. Do you feel warm, cool, pressure, tingling? Take a breath in and ask, where does that breath stop? Does it stop at my chest, and my belly, and my throat? Am I breathing through my nose? Am I breathing through my mouth? Just notice whatever is there. I call it listening. You might call it feeling. But here's the mantra for you. Pause, notice, and name. Pause when something feels off. Notice one specific detail. Name it even if it's simple. My shoulders feel like bricks. They're stiff. This teaches your brain that sensation has meaning, and that habit lets you catch issues when they're little. Stress, dehydration, tension, they begin to grow. And we don't want them to grow. We want to really establish that communication early on. I've talked before about reaching for food when you're really thirsty. This is a prime example of going back to that pause, notice, name. You might think it's hunger. Take a drink. Did that satisfy it? So I have another exercise for you. This is a little bit more playful. It is the foot awakening exercise. Sounds kind of strange, I know, but sit down somewhere where you can see your feet. Slowly point your toes and then flex them back. And watch as you do that. Does one of them move easily? Do your toes feel like they're moving evenly as a unit? Or is there a rebel toe that's like, I'm not doing it? Wiggle all 10 toes. This actually is a bit of a brain exercise as well, but you're starting to now connect what you see with what you feel. And that, for some people, is exactly what they need to associate that in their brain. So they have an understanding of, oh, I see this as different. Now let me move to see what that feels like. Again, you're starting to bring that connection back. You're checking in. You're seeing what's happening. Another one is to do a little stretch, or notice that maybe you have stiffness in that certain place, or do your hands feel cold, or do you feel hot? This is your body messaging you. It's sending a text message. It says, hey, pay attention to me. You can do things like stand up, glance in the mirror. Do your knees and ankles, are they at different angles? What about your shoulders? And one that I really notice a lot and have a lot of clients that pay attention to this one is the head tilt. Their eyes are basically their head tilt, so their eyes will be on one plane. And that can be because of foot issues, hip issues, whatever it is, but really taking that opportunity to notice. These tiny little drills that we talked about, the ones in which you just take a second, you pause, you notice, and you name. These all start training your body, opening up that Wi-Fi signal. And the truth is, if you don't allow these little micro messages to come through, your body can't course correct. And that's what we want. We want those little course corrections that happen rather than waiting till it's a full-blown needs to have major construction. If you keep compensating these little tiny bits, then it will prevent you from having pain, fatigue, and burnout. And quite frankly, this matters even more in midlife. The time when your hormones shift, muscle recovery slows down, and stress hits your body differently. If you're a woman building a business, traveling, juggling a dozen roles, you need your body on your team. When you're disconnected, your body's reactive. When you're connected, it becomes responsive. And the difference between needing 3 days to recover after a long work trip versus feeling ready to go for the next adventure after a day's rest. Difference between skipping your morning walk because of knee pain and knowing exactly what stretch makes it feel better. And when you tune in, you gain the kind of freedom that doesn't come from a supplement or a spa. It comes from partnership. Freedom to move, to focus, to laugh, and live life the way that you want to. Stop ignoring your body. It isn't a strength, it's actually sabotage. One of my clients, Marie, she runs every morning. She's disciplined, she's consistent, she's doing all the right things. She was getting a dull ache behind her knee that just would not quit. She checked her form, her stretches, her warm-up, everything looked fine. Then one day I asked her to bring her running shoes to the Zoom call. She held them up for me and turned them around to the back. And sure enough, the inside sole of each of the shoes was worn down. It was kind of like an angle like this. And that was throwing off her alignment, enough to cause pain, but not enough to notice until it built up. She replaced her shoes, did a few balance exercises and drill, and the mysterious knee pain disappeared. What I love about this story is how clearly it shows your body is always giving you clues. You just have to know what to look for. And when you catch those clues early, you save yourself weeks, months, or maybe even years of unnecessary frustration because your body doesn't need to break down. It wants to help you. You just need to meet it halfway. If you ever said, I don't hear my body, start here. Pick one thing. It can be one breath, one small movement, one moment of noticing. It can be when your stomach growls and said, what does that mean? Am I hungry? Am I thirsty? Is there something else happening? Reconnection isn't dramatic. It's gentle repetition. Your body isn't holding a grudge. It's waiting for a conversation. When you listen early, you prevent emergencies later because this isn't about aches or fatigue. It's about quality of life, the freedom to travel, to grow, to play, for me to dance all night and to feel alive. You've worked too hard to let disconnection steal your energy now. Listen to your body before it has to shout. and it will carry you exactly where you want to go. This is our episode for today. Forever Young. See you next time. Bye. That's it for this reset. Grab your free gift, your midlife superpower, 5 simple power moves to feel like yourself again. The link is anagelesslife.com/superpower. Thanks again. Bye-bye.